problems.
Coming up next on Virginia Outdoor Life, learn the secrets of shell cracker fishing with an expert teenage angler. And explore Virginia's most pristine coastland, the Eastern Shore's Barrier Islands. Plus, find out if your recipe is good enough to win a Pro Chef gas grill. It's all coming up over the next half hour, so kick back, relax, and enjoy. Virginia Outdoor Life is next. Hi, and how are you? Welcome to the show. It's Saturday, August 3rd. The dog days have started.
Yes, the dog days of summer.
Still, we've got a great show for you tonight. And how's fishing been this week before we get started?
Well, until the rains arrived, it was pretty good, but the end of the week was very damp.
I've always wondered. I've heard some people say it does, and some people say it doesn't. But when it rains, does it actually affect the fishing?
It does, to some extent.
I know you get wet.
Yeah, freshwater fishing, a lot of bait will wash into the water when it rains and turn the fish on sometimes to feeding. Bad side of that is sometimes the water gets so dirty and muddy from the rains you can't fish. Saltwater fishing, the worst thing that happens to us is when it rains like it did at the end of the week and you get these tremendous downpours, it causes a lot of fresh water to move in, dilutes the salt water, causes the fish to move out of places where they normally go. So it is going to affect the fishing to some extent, but you never know exactly how or to what extent that it will.
It's a crapshoot every time.
Exactly, exactly. And when you go out after a big rain, then it's exactly like you're saying, you got to start all over again, try to find them.
Exactly.
Right.
Kind of like life when you think about it.
Exactly.
You know, even if you've only seen our show once or twice, there's probably a pretty good chance you've seen Danny Davis. I'm pretty sure he's on permanent retainer now. He is he's a 14-year-old fishing fanatic from Portsmouth, and he holds the record for sending in the most pictures to Virginia Outdoor Life for our outdoor scrapbook. And we decided we wanted to find out just a little bit more about the man behind the pictures.
Right. We wanted to get out with him, do a little fishing. He's been asking us to go, and he took us down to Suffolk, to Western Branch, and we did some shell cracker fishing. This morning we're out here on beautiful Western Branch in Suffolk with Danny Davis, a real renaissance man when it comes to fishing. Fishes freshwater, fishes saltwater. He's very successful with both, and this morning he's going to show the big dummy here how to catch a big shell cracker. I've been trying to catch one of these or have somebody take me out and show me how to catch one of these for years, and Danny finally volunteered to do the onerous task of showing me how to do this. So Danny, here I sit, I got my rod, my reel, and my line, and that's it. I don't know anything else, so everything you tell me is going to be all new to me. How do we do this?
All right, first we take a split shot here.
Okay. How big is that? Just a...
that's probably 1/8 of an ounce, probably.
Okay. How far up the line do we put that?
About a foot. Let me take a number 4 gold hook.
Number 4 gold hook. Any particular knot you like?
Improved clinch knot.
Yep, that's the same one I use.
Usually pretty good.
Now the next thing we do is secure ourselves one large night crawler, right?
Yep. You take and hook him right through that little yellow strip right there. Big carp.
Big carp. Hook him right through that little yellow strip. All right. And which way do we toss him? Towards the bank or out towards the deep?
Yeah, towards the bank.
Okay. What's the technique when we get a strike? I mean, do we let them eat it? I mean, that's a lot of bait out there.
Well, some of them when they hit, they go ahead and they take off with it. Some of them they just barely ease off with it. Just let them run with it for a second or two, then put it to them.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Not a citation, but
that's some good eating there.
I think I'll have it mounted. What do you think?
Yeah. You can just hang on the board, it does hang itself.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I still got him. He's not a big one though. A big one will be rooting all around. He might a little size to him. I got him.
There you go.
This one here is just a baby.
Yeah, let him go too. Red ear sunfish. Red ears. Pretty fish. This is your shell cracker outfit. Why don't you tell us what you got here and what kind of line and all you have on it so that folks go into the store, they'll know what to get.
All right, I got a Zebco 33 with just a light bait casting rod. Any small ultralight tackle will work. Anything up to about 8-pound class.
8-pound line?
Yeah.
Is that what you spool with?
Yeah, 8 or 10-pound Andy is what I use. Nothing.
Very simple, basic kind of fishing that you can do down here and wind up with some nice size shell cracker. Oh my, yes.
All right, that's the pound.
Yep, that's the one we've been looking for. There he is. All right, there's our 1-pound shell cracker. Measure him when we get back, but I'm sure he's a pound, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Nice fish, nice fish. Exactly why I can't catch one, I don't know, but what the heck.
Fishing now.
He's been out there a long time. Ever since he was old enough to do anything, he's been involved in fishing. I asked him if he was involved in sports. He said no, it would take away from his fishing time, but he does have a girlfriend, so.
That's good.
That's good, that's good.
You're doing right, Danny.
And I'll tell you, I've been around a lot of people that fish, and there's people like me that do it long enough and hard enough they learn something, and you know, once in a while catch a fish. Danny's got a talent for it.
I never thought we'd see the day when somebody could teach you something on the water.
They can always teach me, I'm easy.
Well, we're going to the beach. This time of year can be tough. Finding parking is a big old problem. So is dodging the tourists on the beach. It can be a pretty wild affair, but not on all the beaches around the area. When Virginia Outdoor Life returns, we'll take you to a beach where it's wild in a totally different way. Stay tuned. Wasn't a problem hauling that one in at all.
No,
was it?
I don't imagine.
You know, I know this is probably an understatement, but you don't have to appreciate, you don't have to hunt or fish to really appreciate just how beautiful the Commonwealth is.
That's right.
You know, you can really get kind of a sense of it just by taking a walk on a beach somewhere.
It's true, and we have a beautiful beach here in the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area down at Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge in Falls Cape State Park, but over on the Eastern Shore, it really gets pretty. It's just absolutely pristine over there, and never been touched. It's gorgeous. Where George Reiger took us over there on the Eastern Shore and showed us the better part of Cedar Island. This morning we're walking the edge of the beach with my friend George Reiger, who wrote the book Wanderer on My Native Shore, and so we're wandering his native shore over here in the beautiful Barrier Islands of Virginia. George, we're coming up on this group of gulls feeding on this point here. What do you think has drawn them to that area at this time?
Well, from the way they're pecking and moving around the sand, it's almost certainly horseshoe crabs. This is the time of year that they'll move into the inlets all along the eastern shore here and reproduce. They provide food for not just gulls, but more importantly, earlier in the summer, to migrating shorebirds. And in fact, the food is so critical for the migrating shorebirds, they feel that at least some species, purple sandpipers for example, wouldn't even be able to make it up to the nesting ground unless they could stop off here and get fueled up, so to speak, to continue the flight
now,
north.
For those that aren't aware, those particular shorebirds come all the way from South America, isn't that correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
And this is like a stopover, and then their nesting areas in the Arctic?
Up in the subarctic area. The herring gull and the blackback are two species of gulls that have only recently, that is, since the late 60s, early 70s, come into this area, and they become something of a problem. They do very well for themselves by going into other bird colonies and eating the eggs and nestlings.
Right.
And as a result, we've seen our clapper rail population fall considerably because the gulls would rather go eat the clapper rail eggs and young than go make an honest living as a fisherman.
People that go down to the beach for their summer vacation or whenever, and they see things and they think, boy, these are pretty shells or whatever. Let's just kind of take a look at something here I think that the people might be interested in. For instance, this is an oyster shell now. Is that a recent shell there, George?
A lot of these are very old shells that get washed out and then they get worn down.
How old is old?
Oh, we're talking in certainly thousands of years.
Right, exactly, right. Yeah. That were here and then they were covered and now they're being exposed again as the islands move again. Yes, exactly. Thousands of years old. So you're picking this up and you're picking up something that was alive tens of thousands, maybe 10,000 years ago.
Now this is a form of algae, very colorful, that grows attached to usually a rock, a substrate of some sort that's been torn loose by the rolling water we've had here, some pretty high winds recently. We have some right up ahead here. Yes, that's more conventional. There's some fucus.
I was looking to see
here.
if there's any little critters in there. Sometimes there's a lot of little critters in this stuff.
There's little bits of fucus or rockweed also mixed in with this. The reed itself are the reeds of Spartina, the main plant of the that holds the marsh together. This is the thicker, heavier Spartina alterniflora. This is the ova,
what we call sea lettuce.
And it's become the primary food of the Atlantic branch now that their eelgrass supplies have become more spotty over the last half century. It makes them very iodine flavored. They're not as desirable to eat as a game bird now, but they'd be in deep trouble without this to eat every winter. You have to watch very carefully where you put your feet. These are terns, and these are probably, from the size of the egg, they look like they may be common tern. Our foresters terns eggs, but we do have least terns out here as well. Scattered all across the shell, the birds are nesting here primarily because they have such wonderful camouflage. When you have the shell breaking up the outline here, it's very difficult to pick these eggs out, and that's such a benefit to them because the gulls, which are their principal nuisance, can't find these eggs so readily, and the crows as well. Crows will hunt along these beaches and take quite a few eggs if they can. There's wonderful diversity of life that can't be taken for granted anymore. But it's nice to think that within close proximity of urban areas, you can find some wonderful wilderness like we have right here.
Boy, it's like stepping into a time machine going back there.
It's the most wonderful place on earth, in my opinion.
I
love the barrier islands of the Eastern Shore.
I will take your word for it. George has also, of course, written a book about it.
Yes, he has.
So much.
Wanderer on My Native Shore. He has written that book among many others, but this is a spectacular book. It'll give you a real good insight.
Number one, we got Mike Warley here at Virginia Beach, a 56-pound cobia. Caught July 7th along the Bay Bridge Tunnel. Wife Karen sent in the picture.
Nice fish, nice fish. Really good sized fish. All right, now we've got David and David Shield of Dutton. And Junior is on the left with a 5-pound 1-ounce flounder, and Senior on the right with a 6-pound 6-ounce flounder. And that's kind of interesting that the son must have been playing client fishing there. Let Dad get the big one. They caught him off of Cape Charles aboard the Burn It Up Bobby, captained by Grady Baker. So I guess Grady took them to the fish and they caught him. I hope they shared the fillets. Absolutely.
If not, they're in a lot of trouble. This is Jake McKinley Hoffman of Chesapeake, a 2.5-pound largemouth bass. That bass is almost as big as he is. Caught July 15th, Lake Greenbrier. Bobby Hoffman sent the picture and he said he has never been so proud of Jake, and adds that Jake is a big News Channel 3 fan, so his check is in the mail.
Well, he should be. Yes, it certainly should be. Okay, here we have Patrick McFerrin from Gloucester. He's 7 years old. He's got a nice-sized largemouth bass there. He caught it in a pond in Gloucester, and Patrick fishes with his grandfather, Tracy McFerrin. I have a feeling they may have released that fish. It looks like it's still alive when they took the picture, so that's why we don't have a weight on it. I hope so, at any rate.
Catch and release.
Yep.
And Iris Fan just decided to send us in a picture of Bennett's Creek, and it was so nice, we just decided we'd put it on. That's
pretty area out there. This whole part of the world is beautiful.
Good fishing. Welcome back to Virginia Outdoor Life. It is hot product time now, and we got some good stuff to tell you about, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
If you are a barbecuer or a camper, these products are going to make your life a lot easier. They're from a company called Nature's Fire out of Minnesota. There you go. Right. For the barbecuer, we got charcoal starters. You add these to your briquettes, you light it. It eliminates the need for lighter fluid, which makes it a lot safer too. And then we've got flavors in them. You got hickory, mesquite, and black walnut. And then for campers, we have the complete cooking fire sets. They come in 8-ounce packages. They're easy to take with you. They light easy. Even when wet, you can light these things. They're all natural. That's good. It leaves everything completely biodegradable, so you won't harm the environment, which is, of course, the name of the game.
Right, as long as you don't set a forest fire and burn the whole place down.
Exactly. Well, you got to remember to put it out. All right, you can get all this at KOA Campgrounds through the catalog. And we'll be one of our lucky viewers, of course. You're going to get it from us, and you don't have to worry about that. So
dig right in there.
We're going to. What are we drawing? One here?
One here this time for the briquettes.
I like this little 4th of July flag there.
That's good.
Okay, this is Deborah Tabor, and she is from Newport News. She says she loves the show.
Bless her heart.
Well, her check's in the mail as
now
well,
we
and she gets the briquettes.
Hello.
Hello. America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah. We also have 5 tickets for the big outdoor show up in Richmond this weekend.
Okay.
And we're going to give away 2 of those, 2 sets of those. So we need 2 cards.
Okay.
I'll take this one, and you take that one.
This one. I like the
right.
Ducks. That looks like a Ducks Unlimited thing there. Ellie Suarez, a Hampton.
Okay, and I have Ed Bowlerup, I believe, of Virginia Beach. But at any rate, we'll get it to him, and he gets the, it's called Fisherman's Morning on that card, and he will get a copy of the tickets, the 5 tickets. So he will, himself and 4 of his good friends can go up there and check that out.
Have a good old time.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Got the fishing forecast, don't we?
Well, yeah.
What do we got this weekend?
Well, I
What's
wish.
left of it, at
Yeah,
least.
what's left of it. We've got a lot of rain towards the end of the week, and that, as we talked about earlier, is going to turn things around, and I don't know exactly what it's going to do to the fresh or saltwater fishing. The best thing to do is just get out there and give it a try. I still think we'll have good croaker fishing. We'll probably have some cobia around. The freshwater guys are probably going to be looking for some bass on there in the ponds and in the rivers. But it's kind of going to be a new ball game this tomorrow, and to get out there, that's when the rain's really supposed not to stop until tomorrow. So it's going to be a little tough finding some fish this weekend, but I think you should be able to get out there and have a good time once the rain quits.
As always, it beats staying at home or being
Absolutely.
at the office.
Get out there and give it a try. Maybe you'll find out where they all went after the rain.
Okay. Hey, we're out of time. That's it for us. He's Eric Burley. I'm Bob Matthews. See you next week.
Y'all take 'em easy.